It's a nice reference to a Miles Davis song, and it's also a reference to the color of the text as it scrolls by you. This was commissioned by the museum in about 2009. It was realized in 2010, and it took laborers, installers, Holzer herself to come and kind of figure out how the piece is going to fit in the space. Most of the time you can see the reflection of that blue text in the water. So it becomes, as our curator Michael Opping says, a river of language. So the truisms are the most well-known series, and many people will inadvertently call the entire piece her truisms. That's not true. It's only about a ninth of the piece is comprised of her truisms. The entire piece is over 12 hours in length. The piece is a culmination of her work to date. She has 13 series to date in her work. This piece includes 9 series. So it's a really nice kind of mini retrospective of her different series. And so some of the truisms would be private property created crime. Another is raise boys and girls the same. Another is your oldest fears are the worst. So they really get to the heart of human experience. And some a viewer might not have a lot of connection with, and another it might just really get them at the core and make them kind of question maybe how they're living their life, or just something going on in their own life. So when the viewer comes, the idea is you kind of get to see who and what you relate to. What makes you kind of pull back in fear and disgust? What makes you become more interested in the text and maybe relate it to your own life? So there's all of these different ways that Holzer meets the viewer wherever they are. I think that one of the big strengths of the truisms and of this piece, kind of blue in general, is that it seems to be a voice of authority. Whenever we're confronted with an anonymous text or an anonymous voice, we tend to assume if it looks nice and it looks official that we should follow it and that it's the truth. So there's this idea that we get to really pick and choose what we want to believe and follow. I think that this piece helps us maybe realize that a little bit. The fact that it's in a museum space further gives us the sense as viewers that it's true. If the institution backs it up, it must be true. And Holzer might be showing us that we should question that a little bit. Maybe not everything that an institution or an authority puts forth is right for us. I think the idea of connection between Holzer and the viewer is really, really important, which is a little ironic because we never hear Holzer's true voice. She borrows text from others. She sums up these big ideas that kind of float around in the zeitgeist. So we all are familiar with them, but maybe we haven't put them in those words before. So many of the texts that you come across, especially with the earliest series of truisms, you think, I've heard that somewhere before, but I'm not sure where. And it's because it's this idea that kind of permeates our culture, and she's finally putting it into words.